Spiritual formation. Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Gary. Thank you for giving me a brief moment of your time so that we can go on this learning journey to discover what it means to be formed spiritually. Today, we're looking at spiritual pathways and mission. We often talk about the Garden of Gethsemane just during the Passion Week. It had such a key role in Jesus' life on the night he was betrayed. We sometimes forget that the reason he had such a key role, that it had such a key role in Jesus' life on the night that he was betrayed, is because it had a key role in his life prior to the Passion Week. We find this in John 18:1 and 2. We'll read this. When he had first finished praying, Jesus left with his disciples and crossed the Kindred Valley. On the other side, there was a garden. That's the Garden of Gethsemane. And he and his disciples went into it. Now, Judas, who had betrayed him, knew the place because Jesus had often met there with his disciples. Do you catch that? The reason Judas knew he could find Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane to betray him is that it was a very familiar place. It was one of Jesus' favorite places. It's where he had gone before to pray and to be spiritually refreshed. And Judas knew, where am I going to find Jesus? Well, I bet it's going to be in the Garden of Gethsemane. Luke backs this up in 22:39. We read this. Jesus went out as usual to the Mount of Olives, which is the Garden of Gethsemane, and his disciples followed him. So this was clearly a familiar and beloved piece of ground to Jesus. Think about this. Judas's betrayal did not catch Jesus by surprise. We know that because Jesus dismissed Judas to go betray him, which means Jesus was able to choose where he would prepare for the cross. I just can't even imagine the pressure that Jesus faced. He knew full well that what was ahead, taking the weight of the world's sins on his shoulders, and the one place he chose to do it, that he could choose, was the Garden of Gethsemane. Luke 21:37 reads, each day Jesus was teaching at the temple, and each evening he went out to spend the night on the hill called Mount of Olives, which we also call the Garden of Gethsemane, which means during Holy Week, Jesus retired there every evening. It was a sacred and precious place to him. So if I were to ask you, where is your Gethsemane? It's asking you, what is your favorite place to pray? When you know you face a great spiritual challenge, when you know you face a great spiritual mission, when you need to get your spiritual batteries recharged or just acceptance from your Heavenly Father, where can you go? Do you have a place where you regularly meet with God? Connect prayer with your mission. God gives mission, prayer and mission go hand in hand. Recognize your inadequacy. We need God's empowerment. Do not outwork your prayer life. Stay true to your prayer life. Where do you go to pray about mission? We all have opportunities in our lives, but here's the thing. Do we take advantage of those opportunities? Do we live our lives filled with the presence of God. That's what Sacred Pathways pushes us toward. We find our Gethsemane. I believe everyone listening to me has a call on their life. God has something He wants to do through you, and it is our call to be filled with God before we carry God, then to the world that He wants to reach so desperately through us. It's what you and I were made to do. Nothing else can replace that. Find your pathway so you can fulfill your mission, which in turn will push you back into your pathway. That is a picture of healthy living, Christian living. Well, our time has come and gone again, and I'm grateful that you've been with me. I would just appreciate so very much if you would share this content on your social platform so that others can be made aware about this growing opportunity to be formed spiritually. And until we can meet again, we bid you Godspeed. Bye for now.